probably looks a little odd. Everything's at a slightly different angle now. I actually revamped the studio. Pretty much flipped everything around because it needed a refresh. Welcome back to the channel, everyone. In case it wasn't obvious, I am Evelyn, that one down there. And I wanted to give you guys a little bit of a channel update about some of the goals and my hopes for the channel over this next year, and also to introduce myself a little bit, because we've had a lot of new people come in, and oh my gosh, it is so good to see you all. So, like I said, my name is Evelyn. I am a homesteader in Cochise County, Arizona, in the American Southwest, and we live in the high Sonoran Desert here. So I get to deal with some very interesting types of weather and wildlife and situations that a lot of homesteaders and a lot of other folks will never have to deal with because they don't live in a desert. The main focus here on the channel for a little while was vlogging. I do enjoy making vlogs, but I'm not very good at it. At least I don't think I am. But this year really got kind of rough for us. So for those of you who have not binge watched any of the videos or haven't gotten curious and gone and watched that particular vlog, back in March, on March 17th, my husband got into a wreck on his motorcycle, and that brought everything on the homestead to a grinding halt. And the reason why my bullet journaling videos have been fill-in videos was because while he was in the hospital, the only way I could keep my anxiety fully in check was to set up my bullet journal. A little bit of an odd way to do it, I know, but it worked. My husband found this cup at a thrift store for $2. So naturally, he got it for me. With the wider base on it, it makes it harder to knock over. So, the other focus on the channel is the bullet journaling / stationery. The main reason for doing the bullet journaling was because I wanted to show a non-aesthetic, chaotic bullet journal by someone who does not have artistic talent, at least in that regard. My artistic talent goes into stuff like this. And for those of you wondering, this is a queen size because we needed a new Afghan because the other ones just aren't big enough. They were meant more for full-size beds, not queen size. So, the reading journal, which is a very new addition, I started that because I realized that, one, the way I do reading journals is very different, and I wanted to share how I did them, where it's not one page of stuff. It's I'm writing down quotes, I'm writing down thoughts, because it didn't feel, because I tried doing that kind of thing in my long form journal, and it didn't feel right. It did not feel right at all. It was clashing, and so putting all of that into its own journal made sense finally, and so far it's still working. Unfortunately, at the time of recording this video, it is December 12th, and I still have not picked up my books once. It happens. It happens. When you live on a homestead, you can plan out your day to the minute, and the next day when you get up and start your stuff, the universe goes, ah, ah, ah. And yeah. So in 2024, my goal and my plan is every month we'll have 4 videos. We're going to try for once a week. We'll see how it goes. So The first video of every month is going to be the reading journal video. And I'm going to try and talk a little bit more about the books that I read in it. A lot of the books that I'm rereading here in this next year are classics, older books, they're nonfictions. To be completely honest, if you pick up the Living Forest series and you get to Moose Country, what are you going to expect the book to be about? It's them going canoeing in Canada. So, yeah. But the Living Forest series is going to be one of the ones I'm finishing next year. Hopefully, I'm going to give myself permission to read a bit more. And I'm planning on finishing my reread of the Little House on the Prairie series. I'm also planning on rereading the Jane Austen novels. And looking forward to showing you guys the tome that is the entire collected works of Jane Austen that my husband got for me. So it is a lovely, lovely hardcover, big book. And I also want to let you guys know that here on this channel, we have 2 rules for the reading. 1, there will never be content inappropriate for anyone underneath the age of 18. Don't get me wrong. I appreciate a well done, well written erotica just as much as anyone else. But I want my reading journal videos to be a place where you can come with me, sit down, relax. We can chit chat in the comments. We can have a little conversation about a book that is nice and relaxing. And well, Jane Austen books may not be classified as relaxing, but I don't want you guys to have to worry about any kind of surprises. Because I am someone who has mental health beasties due to events beyond my control. So there will never be a book with any kind of non-consensual, non-committed couple on this channel. I'm sorry. It's just not going to happen. Mostly because that kind of stuff makes me highly uncomfortable. And there are dozens upon dozens of channels out there that talk about that stuff. Rule number 2 will be, they will be simple reading journal setups. They will be the kind that if you decide that you want to follow my format, you'll be able to with just a pen and a lined notebook and, you know, maybe some stickers that you've been hoarding away in a corner that you're not really sure what to use them for, and they have nothing to do with the book, but screw it, you want to make the page look nice. And that's that about the reading journals. The bullet journal videos, I'm going to be working on trying to get out either the last Sunday or the last Thursday of the month, because I always end up with so much stuff that I kind of have to get carried over. Like the January fill-in that's going to be dropping here in a few days. It's a little odd because I'm not going to be rolling over my project list, and I'm not going to be rolling over my husband's list, because towards the end of the month is when that happens. That way I know what things have actually been taken care of and what haven't been. But in March, we will be back into me actually setting up the bullet journal with you guys. And you guys are going to have to let me know if you like seeing that process of me setting everything up, or if you like being surprised by, well, what did her crazy backside come up with this year? I am going to warn you guys, this coming year, there will be a lot of butterflies and dragonflies and florals, because that's what I was kind of focusing on when it came to my sticker hauls, which I do apologize. There is not going to be any kind of showing of that because they're all already in. And I just could not film those days. Filming was just not possible. Because believe it or not, I am actually a massive introvert. I am a massive homebody. So being able to do videos like this is actually a huge step for me. I did not used to be able to do that. And when I was able to start doing that back in 2021, which is when I first uploaded a video in September, I actually surprised myself as to how much I actually enjoyed doing this kind of content, which is why I'm still around. The third and fourth videos will kind of be in flux a little bit. One of them will most likely be a vlog with highlights of stuff that was actually interesting here on the homestead. I swear, sometimes my life, let me compare it to, you would be more entertained by watching paint dry sometimes. Not an exaggeration. Not an exaggeration. But I'm hoping here over the next few months during the wintertime, we're going to be remodeling the raised bed. We're not going to have a container garden this year. Something about the size of the plants that we used concentrated the heat into the root balls, and because we had a warmer summer than normal. So my garden did not do good. Did not do good at all. And then that'll probably be a third and fourth video. And there might be some months where I don't have a fourth video. And what I will most likely do on those months is introduce you guys to how I keep my stickers organized, how I keep my washi tape organized. I might introduce you guys to a new journal that I set up actually over the last couple of days. And I didn't film that just because I didn't want to film it. It's not an everyday kind of journal. It is a hobby journal. Because like I showed you guys, I do the crochet, I do knitting, I sew. I'm working on getting back into embroidery, but I am not great at it. I am very not good at embroidery right now. I am very rusty. So the hobby journal was more of a place where I could actually keep track of the projects that are very long term. Like since I started that Afghan that you guys got to see the beginning of the video, I have filled 4 long form journals. And it just doesn't feel complimentary to have those projects in my everyday bullet journal, which is meant more for reminding myself to read. It's meant more for keeping up with laundry and, oh, hey, we've got this project over here that I need to do this step, and this step on, and this step is giving me trouble. Note to self, ask Dave to come help me problem solve this. Dave is my husband, for those of you wondering, that's his name. And you won't see him in the videos. You might hear him in the background, which my apologies. At least I think to anyone who watched the December reading journal, because I had meant to mute that part and put music in that part and completely forgot. So, in the coming year, one of the challenges that I had set for myself in 2023 was journaling every single day for a month. That turned into journaling every single day for the year, and I've only missed 9 days total so far. I expect I will probably miss maybe 1, maybe 2 more. We'll see. But if you guys would like, while I won't share what's in the long form journals, because my long form journals are a tool for helping me keep my mental health beasties under control. It's a type of therapy. There's just a lot of personal stuff in there. But if you guys would like, I can show you the cover page that I do for the beginning of each month in the journals. I'll probably do it as a short, just because there's not really a lot that goes into creating the cover pages for my long form journals. And then another thing that I'm hoping to be able to do by the end of 2024 is to grow our teeny tiny little community to 250 subscribers. You guys will note that we're sitting at about 89. And I feel pretty good about that. I have been on YouTube since September of 2021. And to suddenly have several people decide that you guys wanted to join the crew, y'all have no idea how much that has made my day. Just, I love you guys. You're wonderful. Every single last one of you is wonderful. And I can't tell you guys thank you enough for deciding to invest your time and share your time with me here on this channel. So there's also the chit chats, which I think I mentioned in passing, but I didn't get into them. The chit chats are a more in-depth view of little things, like when I'm crocheting a smaller project, or I've got a notebook, a book that I'm binding, and I decide, you know what, I'll take you guys along for that. You might enjoy that. There are, within the chit chats is where you'll find some of the more pagan oriented content, because I am a pagan, I am, words Evelyn, I am a pagan practitioner, but that is not the focus of my channel. I don't mind sharing little bits and pieces with you guys via the chit chats, like, hey, this is my magical notebook that I made, and I got to revamp it because I made it too big. That was a chit chat there at one point. There's a chit chat talking about crochet magic. A lot of the things that I incorporate into my practice also involve crochet. A lot of the little bags, almost all of my tarot and oracle decks are in crocheted bags that I've made. Do I have one here that I can show you guys real quick? Oh, yeah, I do. I do. Let go. Thank you. And this one is deliberately made so that I've got a little bit of a reading mat there, because this particular deck likes to throw single cards at me. So, but I forgot I had that one in there too. But most of the time, my practice is not going to be on the channel because it's very personal and it's very intuitional. I have recently started working with Brigid, which for those of you wondering what the giggling fit is, Brigid is the goddess of the hearth in the mythologies, and I call myself a hearth keeper before I call myself a homemaker, and I've been on the homestead here since April 2021, and everyone that is giggling right now is just going, took you long enough to figure out you were supposed to be working with her. But most of the time, you're not going to see that. The chit chats are where you might get a small glimpse of my personal practice. I do have a couple of videos coming up where I talk about the decks, the tarot decks and oracle decks that I work with. But outside of that, there's not really a lot that you guys will see pop up from it. There might be a day or two where occasionally you might see see me lighting my candle offerings on my altar, just because there's just something really therapeutic about watching candles be lit. I don't know about y'all, but I enjoy watching it. But for the most part, it's going to be vlogs, the reading journal, the bullet journal, and that's going to probably be it. Like I said, my goal, my hope is to do 4 videos a month. Kind of struggled with even getting 1 done this past year, which is why I'm hoping to do a little bit better this year. But outside of that, don't forget, December 19th to January 3rd, we are going to be on winter break here. And I should be dropping the first video of the new year on January 3rd, and that will be my reading journal setup for 2024. And I think that's just about all I have to talk to you guys about today. I might bring you guys along also in January and February for a couple of things that I need to revamp within a couple of systems that I'm using. But you will also note, as of today, when this video drops, there will be a new playlist. That playlist is going to be the notebook system of Crane's Hearth. That is the that's going to have the house diary, the quarterly journal, the annual journal, and because I'm not going to be changing how I set up the house diary for probably several years. It doesn't really need to be changed. The quarterly and the annual journal, on the other hand, when that annual journal is full, I'm going to be experimenting probably in 2026 with combining the quarterly and the annual journal. And that is when a new video explaining how I'm doing that setup and why I'm experimenting with that setup, that's going to be at the end of 2025. That's way off in the future. But so those videos, I'm not going to be producing videos involving the annual, the quarterly, or the house this coming year. So that's everything that was on my list for this video. Again, thank you so much to everyone who has joined the crew, and a huge shout out to all of my subscribers who have been with me since the beginning. I notice, trust me, I do. But I cannot wait to see what this new year brings us. I hope it brings us all a measure of resolve to kick the universe's butt should it decide to send any bad stuff our way. I know I've been doing that myself. So, but just a huge thank you to all of you. Just a massive thank you. So, as always, crew, thank you for sharing your time with me today. Hug your loved ones tight, take care of yourself, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye for now.